Hello. All right, this lesson is solving two-step equations. So today I'm solving one and two-step equations so that I can use the correct steps to solve for the variable. I'll know I get it if I can assess the problem correctly to solve for the variable. How do I solve one and two-step equations? So here's our strategy. So this is good to keep in your notes. It's also in the math notebook in class KIC for unit 2. So first, if you have parentheses where you have to use distributive property, do that first. And we'll go into more detail. I think it's in the next couple of lessons, not in this one. We're just doing basic two-step equations for this lesson. You're going to combine like terms on the same side of the equation. Again, we're not doing that in this one, but we will later in the unit. So this one we are doing isolate the variable, which means we need to get that variable by itself. So it's like x equals or c equals all by itself, solving for the variable. We're going to be using the inverse operation to do that. So if it's like plus something, then it's the inverse or opposite is minus. Or if you're multiplying, shows 2x, then you would divide by 2 because 2 times, next to the variable 2y, that shows multiplication. So the inverse would be to divide because that's the opposite. And whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. It's balancing those equations. Okay, so let's look at an example real quick. Here is, this one shows 7v minus 3 equals 25. This is a minus, the opposite is to add. So we're going to add 3, and what you do to one side, you have to do the other. The reason why we do that is this cancels now. Negative 3 and a positive 3 is 0, or you can just look at it like this, 3 minus 3, 0. So we're left with just this. But here we have 25 plus 3 is 8. Now this shows multiplication when the coefficient's right next to the variable, that's multiplication. So the opposite is to divide. So we're going to divide each side by 7. So this 7 divided by 7 is just 1, so we're left with just b. 28 divided by 7 is 4. Then you can plug in the 4 to check your answer. All right, so let's try this one. This, we have x divided by 3 minus 3 is 6. So the minus 3, the opposite, would be to add 3. And what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we're going to add 3 to this side, add 3 to this side, and we're left with just x over 3. I'm going to just wipe this out. That cancels. And then we have 6 plus 3 is 9. Now here, this shows division, so the opposite is to multiply. We're going to multiply by 3. Now I'm going to just put a 1 under here because that shows you that when we multiply these together, 3x over 3, then the 3's cancel. So you're left with just x because these cancel out. And 9 times 3 is 27. All right, let's look at this one. So we have 2f plus 7 equals 15. Plus 7, the opposite of adding would be to subtract. So we're going to subtract 7. And what we do to one side, we have to do the other. We're left with just the 2f because 7 minus 7 is 0. Then we're going to do 15 minus 7 and we get 8. So this shows multiplication. So then we're going to divide by 2. And these cancel. 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So then I have f is equal to 8 divided by 2 is 4. So if we were pulling in, it would be C. You can always pause these and rework it if I'm going too fast. So please make sure you understand before you move on. So this one is just reversed here. It's okay. You can rewrite it if you want to put the variable in front. But this is a positive 18. So the opposite, we would have to subtract 18 to get rid of it on that side. Because remember, our goal is we want to isolate this variable. So this is all by itself. And what I do to one side, I have to do the other. Now you can use the calculator if you want to, and put in 49.5 minus 18, and you'll come up with 31.5. This shows multiplication here. I put the decimal in the wrong place, excuse me. So that's 6.3. Now we're going to divide by 6.3 on both sides. And we can jump over to the calculator, do 31.5. And we're just going to use this division sign. What was it? 31.5 divided by 6.3. Make sure it's underneath there. And the answer is 5. All right, let's look at another one. So this one, let me actually just go to this one and then we'll come back to that. So I want you to practice a little bit more before we go into that Desmos calculator, because you can actually put this into the calculator. So this is a little different here. So this minus 5c, the minus sign goes with it, so it's like a negative 5c. So this is a positive 27. So to get rid of it on that side, we need to subtract 27.5 from both sides. All right, so let's use a calculator and put negative 15 minus 27.5. Negative 15 minus 27.5. It's negative 42.5. Remember, when you have two negatives, you actually end up adding those together. So it's negative 42.5. This cancels. Remember, I said this net minus sign goes with it, so it's negative 5c. So now we're getting the next step. We're going to take the negative 42 and we're going to divide it by negative 5, or negative 42.5. So negative 42.5 divided by, what did I say it was? Negative 5. Make sure it's underneath here. And it comes out to 8.5. All right, so again, that was negative 5 divided by negative 5. You have to make sure, be careful with this calculator, make sure that the negative sign is with that 5, and then you have it with the 42.5. Otherwise, it's going to give you the wrong answer. So C is equal to 8.5. Let me go this one. Yes, I want to go back to this one and put it into the calculator, because this one will just be easier to see. Actually, so this is the same equation. So what you have to do when using the Desmos calculator, you actually take each side of the equation, 18.63x, and you set it up as y equals, and then here's the left side, and then you take the right side and put y equals. So let me put that into the calculator. I'm going to show you real quick. So let me clear these out. So y equals 18 plus 6.3x. Okay, so it graphs a line there. I'm going to see if I can change the color. Just try to hold it down and see if you can change the color. And then the other side was 49.5. So we're going to do y equals 49.5. And so I don't see it on here, so you need to zoom out, because you have to see that red line as well. And then right here, it shows you where they cross, and it's that first number listed. So the answer is 5. Is that what we got over here? Yep, see, we got 5. So just another way to solve the equations if you wanted to use the Desmos calculator again, where they cross. It's 5,49.5, but so it's 5 is the answer to that equation. That one's, so if you're using the calculator, let's put this one into the calculator and make sure you set this up correctly. You have 2/5 x minus 3/10. So I'm going to cross these out. And so the first one has to be a fraction 2/5 x. So you can do 2 divided by 5. Now click away from that and put the x there. And then you're going to put plus 3, or it's minus, whoops, minus. I'm going to space away 3/10. And I forgot to put the y equals, so I'm going to go back to the front of it and put y equals. And then the other part, it says 9/10. So y equals 9/10. I'm going to try to move that up a little and zoom in a little so we can see this line cross where it crosses a little bit better. And it crosses in here. So the answer is 3. Okay, did everyone see that? Answer is 3 here. X is equal to 3. All right, one more, this one. Okay, so you put these into the graphing calculator. Y equals -2, and we need to cross these out. We don't want those on there. This does it. No. So we got to put y equals -2, and we don't see it, so we're going to have to zoom out. There it is. Okay, and the next part is y equals -1/5 x plus 1. I'm going to say 1 by 5, space away, plus 1. Okay, I'm going to try to change that color. Let's go with green. Oh, I forgot my X. I was like, what is going on here? Hold on. X. There we go. So you notice when I did that, it was just a straight line. Make sure I forgot that X. Just be careful. Don't make that mistake. So let's go see where they cross right here. You got to find exactly where they cross. All right, at 15. So the answer for this is 15. So X is equal to 15 here. All right, so it just takes practice. So if you have any questions, just reach out to me. We are, oh, this is not the right plan here. Obviously, you are working in Unit 2, so this is 2.02. Reach out to me if you have any questions.